Hi, I'm Vooght. Thanks for tuning in once again. In this brief video, we're going to continue where we left off in our last video, where we discussed the profoundly perplexing measurements between the Richat structure and Stonehenge. If you haven't already seen it, it's highly advisable to do so before this particular presentation. So, in 2012, it was reported by a Portuguese fisherman by the name of Docleciano Silva that what he believed to have spotted was an otherwise perfectly pyramid-shaped structure via his onboard sonar equipment between the islands of Terceira and San Miguel in the Azores. And after rechecking his GPS, Silva had confirmed that the top of the unknown water oddity was lying at a depth of some 40 metres or around 130 feet. The apparently square-based feature aligned with the four cardinal compass points, and it stated that it was around 60 metres or 196 feet tall, and that there were quite possibly more. Now obviously we can't rule out this being a completely natural formation, but the fact that the seabed in this particular location would have been above sea level around 12,000 years ago surely has to pique a certain curiosity. In a recent video, I described how the aerial template of Stonehenge in the UK, with its concentric circles and causeway, appeared to ring true regarding Plato's tale of the sunken city of Atlantis 12,000 years ago. And because of Stonehenge's astronomical alignments, we endeavoured to plot a simple path from its centre to the centre of the Richat structure in Mauritania, northwest Africa, and take our measurements via an astronomical method using arc seconds. And what we uncovered was rather astonishing, for the distance between both of these highly iconic sites was precisely 111.11 arc seconds. Mind-blowing indeed. And since the video's release, however, there appears to be a rather large number of megalithic sites, including circles and standing stones, plotted either along or indeed an ancient stone's throw away from the initial path between the Richat and Stonehenge respectively. Some of the examples include Keroch and Carnac in France, the so-called Fairy Ring in Guernsey, and the more commonly described Spanish Stonehenge. So with curiosity piqued once again, I decided to plot a path between the Richat and the proposed location of a Portuguese fisherman's pyramid in the Atlantic. And remember that the Azores are in fact one of the most probable, if not logical, locations for Plato's sunken civilization. And guess what? Well, although the exact coordinates haven't been made public, only an estimated assumption lying between the islands of Terceira and San Miguel, there are what appear to be extremely clear pictures on Google Earth, which unquestionably look like a large underwater seamount, albeit possible pyramid. Next to which, there are rather peculiar sunken summits which reminded me of the Giza Plateau and the hotly debated Orion correlation. And the measurement taken for what may well be likened to the position of the Great Pyramid is precisely 77,777.77 arc seconds. I mean, really, what are the odds? Anyhow, if this wasn't enough, another ancient Azores oddity appears via its southernmost island, Via de Porto, where a path of the Richat appears to pass directly over more than a dozen ancient circular earthworks. And believe it or not, a measurement taken from the southernmost circular structure to the site of the proposed pyramid is exactly 6,666.66 arc seconds. What's going on here? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and please take a second to hit that like and that subscribe. I appreciate you listening. That's the spirit.